This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
You see it right there. Big wrestling event coming to Hampton Roads as part of Virginia Championships Wrestling's Tidings of Destruction coming up on December 6th at the Norfolk Masonic Temple, Granby Street. Doors opening up at 6:30 with bell time at 7:30. We are delighted with the Coach Ed Young. I am Matthew Hatfield. Will be joined by a special guest. He is known as the Greek God PapaDon, who will be in action against Mr. Excellence. You just saw it there a moment ago. We'll put it back up for you, along with our good pal, Mr. George Pontus, taking on Mr. Excellence, Brandon Scott. We are delighted to be joined by the Greek God PapaDon. Thank you so much for coming on. How you been?
I am doing fantastic.
Well, great. It's good to have you on the program. Let's dive into your background. I know people that follow VCW and wrestling are familiar with you, but some of our audience might not know about how you got involved with the sport, how this matchup came about. So sort of give us your beginnings, if you will, and how pumped you are for this matchup.
Oh, first of all, I'm very pumped up for this matchup. Not to take anything away from Brandon Scott besides his poor choice of aligning himself with the VCW fans. He is a great competitor. So anytime him and I do battle, it's always an epic encounter. Last time we wrestled was the first time we wrestled singles one-on-one, and this is the second time we're going to obviously have a singles match. He couldn't get the job done. He couldn't beat the Greek God. So that's that. So I'm very excited to smack that punk from pillar to ring post, on the 6th, and do it in front of the Norfolk, Virginia wrestling fans. But as far as I am concerned, I've been wrestling now 26, almost 27 years. I got involved in professional wrestling and started training in June of 1999. I had my first match July 17th, 1999, which is my 22nd birthday, because I was born on July 17th, obviously, for you slow people out there. And I was trained none other by the legendary 187 Notorious Homicide down at the LIWF Doghouse. So I've been wrestling all over the world for the last 27 years, doing my thing and doing it well.
That's terrific. Now, I'm not even going to try to attempt to pronounce your name properly, first and last name, because I butcher it. I know George does, Ed does. But tell us how you got dubbed the Greek God PapaDon.
Well, PapaDon is a short version of my long last name, Papadoniou. You take off the IOU of Papadoniou, you have PapaDon. And the reason why I am the Greek God is because I'm Greek. So it's not very far-fetched here. And, when you become a professional wrestler / sports entertainer, you need some kind of shtick. You can't just come out to the ring as, "Hi, I'm John Smith from Norfolk, Virginia, and I'm going to beat you up." No one's going to pay money to see that. So you got to put a little flavor on it. So I said, what can I do? Because when I initially started, I was just PapaDon. And then I was in a tag team for about 5-6 years with another wrestler, Ed Toscano, whose wrestling name was Havoc. So it was PapaDon and Havoc. We were known as the Solution because everybody else was the problem. And we were managed by the sure thing John Shane. That lasted about 5 or 6 years. And then I went singles. And someone goes, "Yo, you need some kind of moniker. You need a catch. You have to have something to your name. You can't just be PapaDon." So I said, "What about the Greek God?" He goes, "Why?" Because I'm Greek. And Greeks invented wrestling. That makes me better than you. It's in my DNA. I have wrestling in my blood. Perfect. Let's run with it. And there it is.
The rest, as they say, Ed, is history, as he's wearing the NWO.
And Greeks invented history, so I know a thing or two about history. So there you go.
There you go.
Man, I tell you what, Mr. PapaDon, you're educating me on all that because I didn't know the Greeks invented everything like you say they are. But I'm going to believe you. Now, being a high school basketball coach, long-time teacher, I got to ask you, did you do any wrestling grassroots in high school, anything like that, or military or whatever to get your original start?
No. I mean, I am an athlete. I've been playing sports all my life. My brother will say not well because my brother and I have a competition amongst ourselves. He's a collegiate football player, my brother. So all my life I've been very active with sports, whether it's basketball, baseball, football, stickball, handball, whatever. I never wrestled in school. always wanted to, but my parents were Greek immigrants. They came to this country, legally, that is, and they were very strict when it came to school. They wanted me to have a bright future, and they said, listen, if you're going to go into sports, you can't work a job and have sports because your grade's going to slip. So I liked making some money at the time because I have a comic book habit, or I had a comic book habit at the time, and I just never got into it. Now, two things to come full circle is that as a young kid, there's two things I wanted to do in my life. One was draw comic books for Marvel or DC. And my father wouldn't let me go to art school. I'm a fantastic drawer. You can ask George. And I felt like I missed out on that boat. My second dream was to become a professional wrestler. So when I graduated college and I got my degree in accounting and finance, I said, you know what? I don't want to live with regrets. So I went to find the Killer Kowalski School in Boston, and the internet not being what it is today, I couldn't find an address. And then I ended up picking up a Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, and in the magazine, they had the guide to the independents. I'm like, the hell are the independents? All I knew at the time was NWA, AWA, WWF, and ECW, all the national companies. And I said, let me take a look. So I'm looking through a book, all these companies in the United States that are independent wrestling companies. And lo and behold, there was one in Queens, New York, where I grew up, called the LIWF, the Long Island Wrestling Federation, ran by Bobby Lombardi. So I walked in one bright day, started training. A month later, I was a professional wrestler.
How about that story, Ed?
Yeah, I mean, again, everybody has to start in a certain way. Now, I got to ask you, who were some of your influences when you were younger? When you say Greek God, I'm a big-time, old-time wrestling fan. I remember the guy from way back. You might not even remember, too. I know George does. The Golden Greek, John Tullis.
Yeah, I know him. I know John.
Okay.
Jim Lundis. I know all the Greeks. Actually, you don't want to hear a funny story. You might think that the biggest draw in wrestling history, gate-wise, is Hogan or Stone Cold or The Rock. It isn't. The biggest draw of all time in professional wrestling history is Jim Lundis when he went back to Greece to defend the original NWA title, not the National Wrestling Alliance, the National Wrestling Association title, which merged with the National Wrestling Alliance earlier on in the National Wrestling Alliance career. And they had a gate in Greece, and if you present value the money, it's still the largest draw of any sporting outcome when it comes to professional wrestling. So, yeah, I know my history as well as far as professional wrestling goes. I'm a student of the game, if you say.
There you go. I didn't know that, though, about the biggest draw of that jump. That's pretty cool.
Greeks invented everything. We're the best at everything. The fact of the matter is, we've given you guys, and when I mean you guys, I mean the world. We're the forefathers of civilization. We've given the world everything on a silver platter, and unfortunately, it's been messed up. Whether it's democracy, mathematics, science, there's so much greed and corruption, through the corporations and everything. They muffled everything up. So I'm not allowing that to happen with wrestling. I'm taking charge, and I take control and make sure that the wrestling I present is the realest wrestling you'll ever see, the most believable wrestling you'll ever see. Everyone has their flavor of wrestling, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry. My flavor of wrestling is believability and reality. So when you come out there and you see me wrestle, people are going to say, whoa, these two really hate each other. Or, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen, and I got you. That's why I'm a ring general. So.
There you have it. So we got the Greek God PapaDon with us here. Virginia Championship Wrestling matchup coming up Saturday night. Tidings of Destruction. Tickets available at the door. Norfolk Masonic Temple. Be there. Be square. 7:30 bell time. 6:30 doors opening up. It is 757 Sports Talk here on CoVA Sports TV, Ed.
Well, again, I go back to Mr. PapaDon and I say, you're going against Brandon Scott, your second time ever. Everybody loves Mr. Excellence, does things the right way. And it kind of sounds like you're going to do things your own way in this situation. And here's the piece de resistance. You have now brought in the infamous George Pontus as your manager. George is a good friend of our show. He's been on. He's a good man. But the last time we had him on, we got into words because he turned bad.
Yeah, you chewed him out, Ed. You were mean to George.
He did some crazy things. It shocked me. So apparently he's still on that level.
Listen, first of all, when it comes to Mr. Pontus, you will address him as Mr. Pontus, not George Pontus. You're not on his level. So what you need to do is take a step back and be the assistant coach in the conversation when you go Pontus. All right? That's first and foremost.
Corrected.
Yes, you do. Secondly, George is a very, very knowledgeable individual, and is with his brain, his intellect, and his wisdom in my corner, and my athletic prowess, and my strength, and my wrestling abilities, we're an unstoppable force. Brandon Scott couldn't get the job done last time. He's not going to get the job done this time. And the future of VCW, whether people like it or hate it, they're going to learn the hard way to respect it, is GGP, that's Greek God PapaDon for all you slow Norfolk wrestling fans, and Mr. Pontus. Because we're taking over, and we're going to do what we always do, entertain the fans, give them their money's worth, but most importantly, we're going to set the record straight. We're going to do it the Greek way, the correct way, the best way.
Well, I get all that. I get Mr. Papadon and with Mr. Pontus, I get it. But you said earlier the Greek gave us everything. They know everything. They're smartest. So why do you got to have somebody on your side if you already know everything?
Because
I'm kind of confused.
Okay, well, this is where you show your hand. I'm using a poker reference. I don't know if you guys know poker or not, but you just proved to me that you are a peasant and a lower intellect individual, because as a coach, you should know there's strength in numbers. So when I have George Pontus in my corner, that's 2 brains, 2 Greek brains, which makes it like 3,000 brains against 1. And the odds are always going to be in our favor. Not only because we're Greek, not only because we're sexy individuals, not only because we're the greatest wrestlers and the best entertainers in that company, it's because obviously the law of averages, when the ratio is 1 against 3,000, obviously those with more win. It's the art of war, my friend.
Let me ask you, Papadon, if I can, do you relish hearing the crowd go against you? Does that spur you on more? Take me through kind of your mentality, as you know there will be a pro Brandon Scott crowd, but does that just egg you on even more and motivate you even more to just put down the beat down on them, if you will?
Listen, there's 2 types of people that come to the Virginia Championship Wrestling, okay? Those are the people that want to be me, which are all the males, because they can't be me, and all the females that want me. And that's usually their fat girlfriends, or their smelly mothers, or their ugly cousins and their sisters, who are usually the same thing as their girlfriends or their wives. So the point being is, I can't blame them for hating me, because envy is a very disgusting thing to have as an individual. And all these people are envious of my greatness, and they're envious of the way I look and the way I kick everyone's ass in the ring, and I entertain the masses. So of course they're going to boo me, because they want to be me. And those that want to be with me in more ways than one can't have me, because I'm way above their how can I put it? I'm way above they're way below my standards, put it that way. Mm-hmm. So I don't care. Boo me all you want. Bring all the pizza boxes that you want. Call me Little Caesars. It doesn't bother me whatsoever. Fact of the matter is, I thrive on your hate. Your hate makes me stronger, like the Emperor in Star Wars. I am the freaking dark side, so bring it. I don't care. You make me stronger, I'll destroy all your heroes and sit on my throne in Mount Olympus, just drinking my ouzo with a big smile on my face.
Ed, it's going to be a part of a big matchup. Again, you see the Greek God PapaDon and George Pontus. Mr. George Pontus, doors opening up at 6:30, bell time at 7:30. Rex Lawless defending the Virginia Heavyweight Championship against former WWE Cruiserweight and ECW World Television Champ Kid Cash. You got L Day J challenging Commander King for the VCW Liberty Championship. Nice and smooth. Put their VCW Tag Team Championship on the line against the Helm Golden Pinky Society, partnering up with Benjamin Banks and Diamond Victor Griff, going one-on-one. Devontae's meets Big AC in a rematch from October 18th in Fredericksburg. So much more. And, of course, Mr. Excellence, Brandon Scott, taking on the Greek god PapaDon with Mr. George Ponce, part of Virginia Championships Wrestling. Big event coming up December 6th as part of the Tidings of Destruction. And I think PapaDon, Coach Young, wants to be you too. He's very jealous, very jealous.
Well, he might want to be with it, but he might want to be me. I understand. Greeks are the best athletes, and, we are the best teachers. Socrates, philosophy, with the philosophy, we have Aristotle, Pythagorean theorem is Greek. So, it is what it is. I understand. Just take a number, go back to the line like Rosa Parks. She'll be fine.
Well, I know we can't take a whole lot of your time, but, I respect you. I'm assuming you're going to do it the right way. No outside interference by Mr. Pontus like he did before. And that, if you win clean. If you don't win, well, you've lost before, so it ain't like something new.
Even when I lose, I win. Fact of the matter is, it becomes a victory in the mind because I learned from my mistakes and I keep moving forward and forward and forward. And I don't sit and wallow in my grief like the majority of the people in this world today. Boo-hoo, I need a safe space. I'm a snowflake. No. Look. Fact of the matter is, Brandon Scott is going down quicker than a $2 hooker, and I'm not even going to enjoy it that much. But the point is, he's going down, courtesy of the Alpha and Omega, the Greek god PapaDon, right here. And if you guys are going to be at the event, you're going to see what I'm talking about, and you're going to see how great GGP truly is.
Well, I'm definitely going to be there. Matt has another engagement that he has to get to. I'm going to be there. It's a sold out almost. The ringside is definitely sold out. There is still tickets. You got to give it at the door. But Mr. PapaDon, I will be there. You will hear me because I'm going to be loud and proud. And I'm going to be reserved. I'm going to see what happens. But the minute you guys cheat, we're all going to have all our Norfolk fans. We're going to get on your case because we want to see a good match.
Do you want to hear a good history lesson? Do you know that the toothbrush was invented in Norfolk, Virginia? You guys do that?
Say that again?
I said the toothbrush. Did you guys know that the toothbrush was invented in Norfolk, in Norfolk, Virginia?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because if it was invented anywhere else, it'd be called a teeth brush.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna give you that one. I'm gonna give you that one.
That's a slam. I'm telling you right now, my pops might be mad about that one. He might come up there and run it, boo you, and throw things at you. But nonetheless, it'll be a showdown for the Tidings of Destruction. VCW Norfolk Masonic Temple is the place to be. Saturday night, December 6th, Granby Street. Doors opening up at 6:30. Bell time at 7:30 for Ding Ding, the Greek god PapaDon with Mr. George Pontus as they square off against Mr. Excellence, Brandon Scott. It should be rather interesting. We thank you for the time. And I'll say all the best for some of the audience. A lot of the audience might say all the worst to you, but we do thank you for coming on the program, and we'll talk again down the road.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity, gentlemen. And hopefully, Coach, I'll see you at the show. And don't worry, I won't charge you to shake my hand. You get a freebie, okay?
Oh. Appreciate it. Thanks, Mr. PapaDon, for coming on. Can't wait to see you in action.
All right, guys. Take care. Have a great night.
You got it. More coming up with the 757 Sports Talk right here on CoVA Sports TV. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be back after this. Stay tuned.